Hey Yankees fans, let's get right into it, because there's plenty to talk about regarding the current buzz around the team. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is, every moment brings excitement, and right now, things are heating up when it comes to Cody Bellinger. The latest chatter has him on the radar not just of the Yankees, but also teams like the Mets, Phillies, and Dodgers. All of these franchises are showing strong interest, which says a lot about the value and talent Bellinger brings to the table. And honestly, it's hard not to root for the guy. He bounced back in a big way last season, hitting over an 800 OPS, slamming 29 home runs, driving in 98 runs, and showing the kind of baseball intelligence that makes corner outfielders truly stand out. Having him back would be fantastic, but there's a lot to consider before the Yankees commit long-term. Now, Bellinger's talent is clear, but so is his inconsistency. Over the past 5 seasons, he has had highs and lows that make a long-term investment risky. 2 of those years were rough, especially 2 seasons with the Dodgers where he struggled to hit even a 654 OPS in a full season. Yet, it wasn't always like that. Remember back in 2019 when he won the MVP? That was peak Bellinger, a player at the top of his game. But then, injuries, slumps, and inconsistent production have made teams cautious. The Cubs signed him to a 1-year prove-it deal after the Dodgers let him go, and while he had a fantastic season with an 881 OPS, a follow-up year dropped to 751. That's still a respectable number, but it shows volatility, and in the high-stakes world of New York baseball, volatility can be a deal-breaker for long-term contracts. Looking at the Yankees' recent history, we've seen what happens when long-term deals don't pan out as expected. DJ LeMahieu was brilliant in his first seasons, making a huge impact, but once that 6-year contract kicked in, his production became inconsistent, and now the Yankees are paying for years that haven't delivered. Aaron Hicks is another example, a player who showed potential but never fully lived up to the expectations of his contract. The lesson here is clear. Committing to a player like Bellinger on a long-term deal comes with serious risks. You could end up with a star whose performance fluctuates dramatically, and in a market as competitive as Major League Baseball, that unpredictability can cost championships. That's why even with Bellinger's impressive numbers last year, caution is advised. You want to back talent? Yes, but you also want stability and reliability, especially when it comes to long-term financial commitments. This is where comparisons to players like Kyle Tucker become interesting. Tucker has his own injury concerns over the past few seasons, but when he's on the field, he has shown remarkable consistency and power. Last year, he posted an impressive OPS, especially on the road, demonstrating that he can handle high-pressure environments and deliver results. His ability to combine strong defense with top-tier offensive production makes him an appealing alternative to Bellinger. While Bellinger brings defensive prowess and a history of offensive bursts, Tucker's consistency and high ceiling make him a player whose impact is easier to predict over multiple seasons. If you're looking at who is more likely to provide steady, elite-level production year after year, Tucker's profile is compelling. Another point worth considering is the offensive ceiling of each player. Bellinger has had tremendous seasons, but his past fluctuations make it harder to project him as a stable 30 to 40 home run contributor every year. Tucker, on the other hand, has shown that when healthy, he can consistently reach those numbers. He combines power and contact skills in a way that is reminiscent of some of the best pull hitters the Yankees have ever had. You think about someone like Curtis Granderson, who came over and delivered significant power numbers. Tucker offers similar power potential, with the added benefit of being a more consistent hitter and showing a higher on-base ability. This kind of production is exactly what the Yankees need to complement their lineup and maintain competitiveness over the long season. We also have to look at the dynamics of current negotiations. Reports suggest that discussions between the Yankees and Bellinger have some gaps, indicating that they are far apart in terms of contract expectations. That opens the door for other teams to swoop in, which adds an extra layer of urgency for the Yankees if they truly want him. But there's a strategic choice here. Do you pursue a player like Bellinger with all the inherent risks, or do you aim for a younger talent like Tucker, whose long-term trajectory could be higher and more consistent? If teams like the Dodgers or Mets are willing to offer a long-term deal to Bellinger, The Yankees might need to step back and evaluate whether it's worth committing heavily to a player with a checkered history of inconsistency. It's also worth noting that Bellinger has shown flashes of brilliance early in his career, even hitting 47 home runs at just 23 years old. That kind of upside is tempting, no question. But in New York, where expectations are sky high and every contract is scrutinized, the gamble is significant. Tucker, with his proven consistency when healthy, offers a more predictable path to the same level of offensive output without the same level of uncertainty. It's a delicate balance between raw talent and reliable performance. And for the Yankees, making the right choice here could define the team's future for years to come. Then there's the matter of other roster moves that could affect decisions. Players like Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones are under consideration for trades, and the evaluation of their potential plays into the bigger picture. Dominguez has shown promise offensively, but limited playing time has hindered his development. In contrast, Jones had a bounce-back season in the minors, and his stock is on the rise, making him a potential asset for trade negotiations. The Yankees are clearly weighing who can deliver now versus who has future potential, and that calculus impacts how aggressively they pursue someone like Bellinger or Tucker. Every decision here is interconnected, with long-term contracts, potential trades, and immediate production all influencing the final strategy. Now, looking ahead, the Yankees' offseason moves are going to be fascinating because they have to balance short-term impact with long-term strategy. With Cody Bellinger on the market, there's no denying his appeal. He can provide power, defensive reliability, and moments of brilliance that can change the course of a game. But the key word here is moments. His past inconsistencies make him a player that the Yankees need to evaluate carefully before committing to a multi-year deal. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of having a player with his track record, especially after a season where he performs so well. However, baseball is a long grind, and over the course of 162 games, those fluctuations in production can become costly, both in the standings and in financial terms. New York fans know this all too well from recent contracts, where what looked like a brilliant investment initially ended up being a heavy burden for the team. Contrast that with a player like Kyle Tucker. When healthy, he combines a high on-base percentage with consistent power and excellent defensive skills. He doesn't just rely on streaks or flashes of brilliance. He produces in a predictable way that makes building a roster around him simpler. That consistency is critical in New York, where pressure and expectations are immense. Tucker's ability to hit for average, hit for power, and perform in big moments makes him an attractive target for teams looking to sustain competitive performance over multiple seasons. And while injuries have been a concern, the overall ceiling of his game is arguably higher than Bellinger's because Tucker hasn't had the same pattern of highs and lows. When evaluating long-term investments, teams often prefer a player who offers predictability alongside upside, and that's exactly what Tucker provides. The Yankees also have to consider how signing or pursuing Bellinger affects other pieces of the roster. If they commit too much to him, it could limit flexibility in trades or free agent signings. It might also affect the development of younger players like Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones. Dominguez has had limited playing time, but when given the opportunity, he has demonstrated he can handle major league pitching. His offensive tools are real, and the Yankees will want to continue monitoring his growth before making decisions about his future. Jones, on the other hand, has regained momentum in the minors, showing significant improvement in his batting and power potential. The Yankees have a delicate balancing act. Do they push aggressively for a high-profile veteran like Bellinger, or do they nurture and invest in their young core, giving them opportunities to grow and eventually become long-term contributors? There's also the consideration of other teams entering the fray. The Dodgers, Mets, and Phillies all have their eyes on Bellinger, and if any of them offer a long-term contract that the Yankees are unwilling to match, it could shift the market. The team has to weigh not only the financial cost, but also the potential reward and risk. A 7-year deal, for example, could be crippling if Bellinger struggles again. This is a situation the Yankees are very familiar with, having experienced the aftermath of large commitments to players who didn't maintain consistent performance. On the flip side, Kyle Tucker represents a lower-risk option with potentially higher rewards. His contract expectations, health permitting, could offer more value and stability while still providing the kind of production that keeps the Yankees competitive at the top of the league. Looking at performance metrics, Bellinger had impressive numbers last season, but when we examine the trends over the past few years, the volatility becomes apparent. Hitting over 800 OPS one year and then dropping to 750 the next shows a level of inconsistency that makes it difficult to project future success. In contrast, Tucker has maintained strong performance across multiple seasons, demonstrating an ability to adjust to pitching and deliver consistent results. That kind of reliability is invaluable in a lineup that faces the toughest pitching rotations and high-pressure games almost every week. It's one thing to have a star player who can carry you for a season. It's another to have someone who can do it year after year while staying healthy and productive. Another layer of this discussion involves defensive contributions. Bellinger has proven to be an elite defender, making highlight reel plays that can swing momentum in a game. But Tucker, while perhaps slightly less flashy, also brings solid defensive skills and can cover multiple positions, providing flexibility that managers value greatly. The ability to adjust the lineup and defensive alignments without losing efficiency is crucial over a long season, particularly in the grueling American League East, where every game matters and small differences can impact playoff contention. Tucker's defensive versatility, combined with his offensive consistency, might offer the Yankees a more complete and reliable package than Bellinger, whose swings between elite performance and slumps can complicate lineup decisions. The Yankees' history with player contracts also looms large over this decision. The lessons learned from DJ LeMahieu and Aaron Hicks demonstrate the risks of locking in long-term deals for players who, despite initial promise, may not sustain peak performance. The front office has to balance the allure of Bellinger's potential with the practical realities of sustaining a competitive team. Investing in a younger, more consistent player like Tucker could be a strategic move, providing stability while still delivering top-level production. It's a calculated approach that reduces risk while keeping the team in contention, which is ultimately the goal. Meanwhile, other roster considerations like potential trades for Dominguez or Jones play into the overall strategy. Dominguez has proven offensive potential despite limited starts, while Jones has rebounded in the minors, showing that the Yankees have a pool of talent that could be leveraged to improve the team either through development or trade value. This means that chasing a high-profile free agent like Bellinger isn't the only path forward. There are multiple ways to strengthen the team, either by acquiring new talent or maximizing the potential of existing players. It's a complex puzzle, and every decision has ripple effects across the roster and future contract negotiations. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The New York Yankees clubhouse is buzzing with whispers that could shake the foundation of the franchise. Sources say tensions have reached a boiling point after Gerrit Cole, the team's ace pitcher, reportedly made a striking declaration. He's never playing for the Yankees again. The cryptic comment, which has circulated rapidly through social media and inside baseball circles, has sparked speculation over which player Cole was referring to, and what could have triggered such a bold statement from one of the game's most dominant pitchers. Insiders suggest the remark did not come out of nowhere. The Yankees, known for their high-profile signings and star-studded roster, have also faced their share of locker room dramas. While no official names have been released, the rumor mill points to a recent incident during practices and team meetings that may have tested Cole's patience. Some speculate it involves a teammate whose performance or attitude has reportedly clashed with the veteran pitcher's expectations. Others hint at contract negotiations, clubhouse hierarchy, or even off-field disputes that have escalated to a breaking point. Analysts and fans alike are now trying to piece together the puzzle. The comment has ignited debates across sports networks and fan forums, with some arguing that such a statement could influence the Yankees' strategy in the trade market, while others wonder if this is a classic case of a heated moment blown out of proportion. Within the team, Sources describe an atmosphere thick with tension as players and coaches navigate the fallout of a remark that could carry serious implications. While Gerrit Cole has not elaborated further, his reputation as a focused and fiercely competitive pitcher makes his words hard to ignore. Speculation is rampant. Will this lead to a high-profile trade, internal disciplinary action, or simply remain a simmering rumor? The Yankees, ever conscious of media scrutiny, have stayed tight-lipped, fueling further intrigue. Meanwhile, fans are left to dissect every interview, every press conference, and every social media post for hidden clues. Whether this is the start of a major shakeup or just another chapter in the ongoing drama of New York baseball, one thing is certain. Cole's declaration has sent shockwaves through the league, leaving the question on everyone's lips. Who will be the player that will never play for the Yankees again? The answer, for now, remains tantalizingly out of reach. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.